You recently said that no one gives an F about Islam.
No one gives a f about him. Even in Dagestan, when he's fighting, people go to sleep and they watch his fight.
Is it true? How did you get that information?
I know that.
You know?
I know that from people that live in Dagestan.
You got people on the ground in Dagestan?
Realistically, from all the conversations I had with the UFC, how the situation has been involved during the whole process, I don't think that that fight is going to happen. I will be surprised if I get a call and they're going to tell me, like, I want to fight against Islam, which I would love.
IliaTopuria assures the UFC of his commitment to the featherweight division, while taking a subtle jab at Islam Makhachev.
I thought about it, but the last conversations about I had with the UFC, they personally asked me the favor, like, don't tell us to the fight that you want to move to the welterweight division. Made us a promise, and I was like,
IliaTopuria has once again made headlines with a bold statement following his dominant UFC 317 victory, where he captured the lightweight title with a stunning knockout of Charles Oliveira. In an exclusive post-fight interview, Topuria revealed that he had assured the UFC he would not push for a move to welterweight after the win. Despite his past tensions with Islam Makhachev, the newly crowned champion made it clear that he has no immediate plans to pursue a bout with the Dagestani star.
Next, but eventually, you guys keep winning, we will see the fight.
you think so? Hopefully.
I would say.
Why not? Why not? If the UFC wants to make that fight happen, they're gonna make that happen. But I don't know if they want to make it happen. If so, I'm gonna.
Topuria's remarks took many by surprise, especially given the months of trash talk and rising tension between him and Islam Makhachev leading up to UFC 317. He revealed that prior to his title-winning performance, UFC officials had asked him to commit to staying in the lightweight division and not pursue a move to welterweight. Staying true to his word, Topuria agreed, despite the undeniable appeal of a potential clash with Makhachev. This behind-the-scenes promise, made with metaphorical fingers crossed, signals a shift toward a more calculated and strategic phase in his career.
My mentality is always like that. If I'm walking in the street with my wife and someone says something to her, I'm not going to ask him how much is your weight, how much is your reach or height or this or that. Like, I will stay there and I'm going to take his head off. This is how I think. Like, this is fight business. I don't care how much is your weight. If we have a fight, let's fight. If you have that 10 extra pounds, congratulations, but that's not going to help you.
Before your UFC career is finished, do you think you fight at 170?
Yeah, for sure. That could happen.
Okay.
Listen, if you have a champion like Belal, I don't know, many names that I could bring right now, that's an easy part. Like, you can go slap him and get that title, and that's it.
How much do you think you'll weigh on Saturday?
I'm gonna tell you in kilos. I think I will be between 79 and 81.
Interestingly, while many fans expected Topuria to immediately call out Islam Makhachev following his victory, he instead shifted his attention to potential contenders within the lightweight division. Tensions escalated during a surprise face with Paddy Pimblett, which briefly turned physical before security intervened. The heated exchange has fueled speculation that Pimblett could be next in line to challenge the newly crowned champion, with the rivalry between the two now taking center stage. However, Pimblett isn't the only name being floated. Arman Tsarukyan and Gaethje have also emerged as serious contenders. Tsarukyan's title hopes, however, may be complicated by his recent role as the backup fighter for UFC 3.
I'm the UFC, and my only goal is to make Topuria the face of the UFC and build his star and sell out stadiums and sell merch and, you know, get this new TV rights deal and get as much eyeballs as possible. You do Paddy Topuria, and you just Gaethje Topuria, and then Tsarukyan's last. Paddy Topuria's the mother fight. No brainer. Strike with iron's hot, make as much money as possible, get the most views possible. If you're the UFC though, and you do Paddy Topuria, it's a win-win, dude. It's a sold-out giant stadium, Europe somewhere, or Spain, whatever you want to do. Put in Spain, put in the UK, whatever you want to do. It's selling out. You're getting a huge fan base on it. Topuria wins, cool. Build his star higher. We got the next guy, Justin Gaethje, waiting for him, or Tsarukyan. Keep building him up. If Paddy wins, you got another. And let's say it's a back-and-forth fight. You're just doing a rematch, making money. Who knows how long this goes? It's fucking dope.
IliaTopuria's meteoric rise has caught the attention of several top UFC names, including former welterweight champion Kamaru Usman, who recently offered high praise. Usman hailed Topuria as the best fighter in the world today, citing his undefeated record and dominant victory over Charles Oliveira. He was particularly impressed with how Topuria handled the dangerous Brazilian grappler, highlighting the Spaniard's well-rounded skill set. Usman even compared Topuria's ascent to that of Alex Pereira, noting that while Pereira's achievements were remarkable, Topuria's performance against Oliveira and his versatility in all aspects of the game set him apart as a true force in MMA.
Feel that if the UFC gives this fight to Paddy the Baddy, do you think that's the right thing?
It's a mess right now at 155 pounds. It's very difficult to say, Paddy Pimblett, you're next up, when you haven't fought Arman Tsarukyan, Justin Gaethje, Justin Topuria, Charles Oliveira. I understand Arman weighed in as a backup. I gave you a shot for you to weigh in. You don't make weight. That doesn't make a company very, very happy. And can that company trust you? Who's done more than Justin Gaethje as far as favors for the UFC?
That's not realistic, bro. The UFC moves on, bro. This is how you matchmake it. It does have to be Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett, and you do have to be fair. Give it to Arman. Arman does deserve that shot, bro.
UFC commentator Joe Rogan also weighed in on the situation, advocating for a showdown between IliaTopuria and Islam Makhachev, instead of Makhachev's planned welterweight title bout against Jack Della Maddalena, known for his candid takes. Rogan argued that Makhachev's pursuit of a second belt was far less compelling than the potential superfight with Topuria. According to Rogan, the UFC should prioritize making this lightweight clash happen, as it stands out as one of the most exciting and high-stakes matchups currently available in the sport.
So we don't know what's going to happen at lightweight now. As crazy as it sounds, I hope Ilia goes up to 55. I really do. I don't care if he only defended the title one time or didn't. Who cares?
You want Ilia to fight Makhachev?
Let's go.
Despite the growing calls for a blockbuster clash between IliaTopuria and Islam Makhachev, the reality is that Makhachev's next move is already in motion. The reigning lightweight champion has vacated his title in order to pursue a welterweight championship opportunity against Jack Della Maddalena. This development leaves the lightweight division wide open for Topuria to solidify his reign, but not without serious competition. Makhachev's longtime coach Javier Mendez has voiced concerns about the challenges awaiting Topuria, particularly from Arman Tsarukyan. Mendez believes Tsarukyan's grappling-centric style could pose serious problems for Topuria, especially if he's able to dictate the pace and turn the fight into a grueling war of attrition. Given Mendez's deep insight into the division and his role in Makhachev's rise, his perspective suggests that Tsarukyan may be the toughest stylistic matchup currently standing in Topuria's way.
What about Arman Tsarukyan? Some of the other guys in the division. Do you see anybody giving IliaTopuria a challenge?
Yeah, of course. You know, I see Justin Gaethje potentially giving him some problems. Arman Tsarukyan would be the one that, in my opinion, might give him the most problems, because Arman's not going to stand with him. Arman's going to make it a grappling war. So it's going to be a war of nutrition. You know, can Ilia survive the continuous ground attack that Arman's going to put on him? And that would be the test. You know, can he do that? I don't know. Maybe he can. I mean, look what he did to Charles. You know, Charles came in for the takedown. He freaking switched it on him midair. You know, that was very impressive.
At the same time, Javier Mendez didn't entirely dismiss Justin Gaethje as a potential threat to IliaTopuria. Known for his aggressive, high-pressure fighting style and striking power, Gaethje could present serious problems for Topuria in a stand-up war. However, Gaethje's recent trajectory has been clouded by controversy. A public ultimatum concerning his UFC future has raised questions about his commitment, with UFC President Dana White even suggesting that Gaethje consider retirement. This uncertainty could significantly impact any immediate plans for a title shot, potentially taking the highlight out of the lightweight title picture for now.
Just saying, in that division, Justin Gaethje said that if he doesn't get a title shot, that he'd be thinking about retiring, and that he's basically inferring that you guys owe him a favor for him stepping in for UFC 300. I just wanted your thoughts on that.
So everybody has their opinions on. So if you're thinking about retiring, you know how I feel about that. You should probably retire. We love Justin Gaethje, and Justin Gaethje did step up, and he's been an exciting, fun fighter to have here in the UFC. But to say, hey, listen, unless you give me a title shot, I'm retiring. That's pretty wacky.
Another influential voice in the conversation is former UFC light heavyweight and heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier. Having spent years analyzing fights from cage side, Cormier was quick to heap praise on IliaTopuria. Following his dominant showing at UFC 317, he acknowledged Topuria's immense talent and bright future in the sport, but didn't shy away from offering a realistic assessment of a potential matchup with Islam Makhachev. According to Cormier, while Topuria is undeniably elite, Makhachev operates on a different level, particularly when it comes to grappling and overall fight IQ, giving the Dagestani the edge in a potential showdown.